Voices of the Anambra, our pride, our voice.
Welcome, my people. This is Voices of Anambra, where we get to speak our minds the way it takes it to us. We're here once again, and I hope you clicked on that notification bell and as well liked the channel, shared with your friends, drop the comments when necessary. Please don't be hostile, okay? Thank you so much. My name is Uche Chukwu Ebonam. Once again, welcome to Voices of Anambra.
And I'm Amaka Ezedevego, and you're welcome.
Still in the euphoria of the elections. We have a lot of things that led to the elections, a lot of things after the elections, and we're still inside that process.
Because people are still asking questions.
Me have tired.
Here and
question
there.
have plenty. Question it have plenty.
But that's why we're here. To discuss about it.
Well, I don't see much. You don't even enter Bible for the process. I will say today.
Abga leaders.
Not be Bible will enter. Well, today on Voices of Anambra, we'll be taking a look at technology. If it's actually the real winner of this Anambra's election. Remember that when Mr. Governor came in place, said technology everywhere, technology.
Yeah.
And we see that play out in this election, from the situation room to the cumulative results, to the percentage, to trying to weigh in the voter apathy, how many percent, to trying to weigh in the percentage of voters, as to other elections as well. This is boiling down to technology. We are coming into digital space. And we say, what better way to discuss this than to bring the bells in with this moro behind
the horse himself. They say the horse's mouth. Let's hear from the horse's mouth.
What be saying the horse?
We know.
We're talking about engineer Chukwuemeka Fred Agbata, CFA. He is the managing director of the Anambra State ICT Agency. And we say, welcome to Voices of Anambra.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome, sir.
You see the CEC more what I'm talking about?
I'm seeing it. in this, he has to shape it so, air can enter because this is an awful.
Say if you don't book too much, your hair go to shift go back.
Yes.
Welcome once again to Voices of Anambra.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Now, the talk don't plenty.
Yep.
The gist is everywhere. Yep. Percentage. How did they get to this percentage? How did they get to this one? KZ, what are we doing? When did we get to this point? First, let's know what your agency is all about. Then we can dive straight into what you all did during the election. Okay.
Thank you very much. Very pleased to be here. I must say that you're doing a very great job.
Thank you.
It's everywhere, and it's doing a great job. Well, Anambra State ICT Agency, simply the agency responsible for advancing e-governance in the state, for pushing the agenda of digital infrastructure, broadband connectivity, and also everything around capacity building for public servants. So I like to think of ourselves as the back engine for a lot of the work that happens.
Interesting.
Because the truth of the matter is that technology is playing a very strong role across every sphere of life.
True.
And so, and that's why you've noticed it came strong also in this election. And honestly, in my former life, I used to do
Your
this.
former life, you don't die before.
Please expatiate.
Okay, my life before now, before the governor asked me to join him.
Okay, that makes more sense now.
Remember, we know when we start.
Vampires are everywhere now.
I was on national television. I was a host of a show.
Okay.
And one of the things was called Tech Trends on Channels TV. One of the things I always pushed for is the deepening of technology in our country and our states. Because I believe that from almost everything we want to solve, the advent of AI is proving that, knowledge has become limitless. Everything is almost now possible. So technology can solve a lot of problems. It just depends on, and thankfully, Mr. Governor has the political will to make things happen.
True.
Yeah.
All right. Now, diving right straight into the elections. Mr. Governor has, in your words, has everything to make it happen.
Yep.
And would you say that technology actually is the real winner in this election?
In fact, before I answer that, if you don't mind, I remember we had a meeting with Mr. Governor and a number of tech executives in the U.S. Embassy a few months ago.
Please focus.
Actually, the home of the Consulate General of the U.S. Embassy.
Okay.
And when I was for me to talk, the first thing that I said, we have some beautiful slides to share, but the truth of the matter is that if not for the political will of my boss who's seated here, I don't think we would have made progress, right? So even for this election, the mere fact that, Anambra State came tops in terms of using technology, and we've been coming tops in terms of using technology across many different sphere of life. But this particular election, Mr. Governor was very methodological. I remember we had series of meetings, like multiple meetings of dotting the T's, crossing the T's and dotting the I's, we went over it over and over again. So I would say, yes, technology played a very important role, and Mr. Governor was clear on the role that he wanted technology to play, and it came through. It came through in ensuring that the votes, as they counted, they mattered. It wasn't story, and by evening, everyone saw the results, and it was all over the place. That was what Mr. Governor wanted clearly, So it's just a case of how you use technology in a very, very productive way. And that was a perfect example. So technology was very instrumental. It played a very important role. Because there was a pre-election phase, there was a during election phase, and there's actually now a post-election phase, of how you bring everything together and just make sense out of the data that you get.
Okay, you talked about, the results coming out quite fast.
In record time.
Yeah, exactly. And, despite claims of a peaceful election, there were still unconfirmed reports of technological glitches here and there in some areas. And are you aware of the cause of that? And would you say that in any way affected the election results or the outcome?
Well, so first things first, technology usually would, and that's why you must always have a fall gap measure and strategy.
Okay.
So it is possible that in certain, and we also, because we had a situation room that was fully functional, we also got calls of places where the beavers had issues or where the beavers wasn't working well. We had different calls. And so what we did in those cases was we tried to troubleshoot. These things do happen, right? Bugs, attacks, mistakes, errors and stuff, right? The Anambra election largely peaceful, like you've said, free and fair. The few places where they had issues with beavers, were the ones that were escalated, was able to be resolved. Some cases were the case of network, some cases were a case of just restarting it, because again, the beavers machine is a device, right? So sometimes you need to just do a hard restart, right? A hard reset. So restart it.
So
and
in essence, you're trying to say that these glitches did not in any way affect the outcome of the election?
No, it did not in
whether
any way.
Positively or negatively?
No, it did not in any way. It did not in any way. The elections, INEC, we were super prepared. I can tell you that in some of the meetings we had, we were thinking that, INEC came out, with a big bang. Like they were really, really hot. Like at some point, because the way we sort of did the command center, we had a portion where we focused a particular large screen on iRev, thinking that, it was going to be slow. So at that one, what we did was that we had a set of 3 people on that particular screen.
Because the iRev?
No, you know what? When iRev now kicked off, we had 20.
Around 2.
Wonderful.
We moved from 3 to 20.
Wonderful.
Because the pace of upload was unbelievable. Like we're not expecting it. Because if you look at their record, we're not expecting it. Because their record before was 50%, some 60%, some 30%. We were not expecting that. Just by 6 p.m. we were on almost 90%. So it showed that technology can work. There might be glitches, but it can work. And even INEC itself did a good job.
But then did this also play on the August 16th election?
The August 16 one.
Yeah.
Well, the August 16 one, the uploads are still not complete. This is complete. The one for the governorship is complete. But again, it could be because there's a new sheriff in town.
No.
So he's given the marching orders. What it does show is that sometimes when things need to be done, it gets done, right? Because the one for 16 hasn't fully been uploaded, but this has fully been uploaded. So I think it's a case of just looking at their internal processes and making sure. But their ICT team came strong this time around. We were wowed. We were literally wow.
Talking about INEC, did the Anambra ICT agent partner with INEC, to deliver some of these things?
Well, we didn't partner with them directly, but we had some interfaces. So, for example, one of the dashboard that we used had an integration with INEC, right? Okay. Sometimes just API speaking. It's not like it's the physical, but there's API speaking. So I would say there's some level of collaboration because we have for example, we have the coordinates, the coordinates that they use for each of the polling units. We have it on our system. We have the coordinates, we have all the words on our system, And so one of the things that we're trying to do is also to place each voter based on their coordinates in their polling units. So that we can know all the voters, all the people who are voting in that polling units. We can actually pinpoint them on the map. So that will be like a phase 2 of what we just did this time around.
Well, coming down to voter apathy, which is like a general situation in Nigeria. It's not just an Anambra problem, but we find out that mostly in the southeast, it's a very serious issue. And then coming down to Anambra State because we just had our election. And now there's this report that Professor Chukwuma Charles will be the one with over 70%, over
73%
of the vote cast.
73%.
Of vote cast. Now, this data, how true is it? Is it just a manipulation to say, come as you? And does that translate to not having voter apathy in Anambra State?
First and foremost, Mr. Governor ran a unique kind of election. You tell us, Mr. Governor, this type, we have not seen this type. He changed the game. He changed the strategy. He made the electioneering a people first thing, right? Going to the market, suddenly without announcement. Normally as a governor, like you want to announce, the team want to announce, I'm coming here.
No,
exactly. He just, I joined a few and I saw how he was doing it. Like he would just come down. It was
fanfares everywhere.
And so and I saw how the Anambra connected. Meanwhile, on the back end, we were running the pre-election analysis and polling. What that involved was that we had a set of young people, roughly about 30 of them, making calls to the Anambra.
Wonderful.
Independently, not as government now.
Okay.
Asking questions. And so from the data, we already saw that there was excitement.
I think I came across one person.
Oh, no, we called about right now.
But one person actually reached
Oh, no, yeah.
A lot of people complained that they didn't get the calls.
Oh, no, but
not even calls. Like, I think she came to me and was trying to ask me questions.
Okay, so at some times too, we did physical, but it was more of the calling. So we did Fun City, we did physical different places. We just had people go out on the street because that's how you get poll. That's how you do surveys. That's how you feel the heart of the people randomly. So what we did, let me explain what we did.
Yeah.
So we went to each polling unit, picked out a certain amount, and put them in the pool. The first pool that we got was about 120,000 across different polling. We picked them randomly across different polling units, and we started calling them. When we called them, we just asked them a few questions. Are you resident in Anambra? Are you going to vote in this election? If you're going to vote, who will be your candidate? What are the top issues that you think you want the governor to solve for you? Yeah. We had those issues independently. And from the data, we were able to extrapolate that over 500,000 people will vote in this election.
Okay.
We had the voter prediction data.
How were you able to do it? Because a lot of people complained that, they didn't receive any call. They heard about it, but they didn't receive any calls.
It's a sample. We're not going to call every name.
So which people were left out?
I was not called.
No, the idea wasn't to call everyone. The idea is called the sample. Yeah. So we just tried to spread it, have a worthy amount of sample size to work with. Even right now, we're doing I'll talk about that, the post-election. But for the pre-election, we're able to, so basically what we did was that we ran an analysis of the 2021 results, 2017 results, 2021 results, and then the 2025 governorship, the pre-election results.
Yeah.
And based on that, we looked at the numbers, looked at the trend, looked at the voter sentiment, and ran our methodology. And we discovered that because of the impact of Mr. Governor's leadership style on the people, because of his people's first leadership, that there was excitement. And we're able to say that if in 2021 we had little below 10% or roughly 10% of the voter turnout, that we believe that there would be at least 100% of the current one. And that's exactly what happened. So number is not fake. We saw the numbers. In fact, we saw everywhere I went. I told stakeholders that if it's Melio, Mr. Governor has won this election. Free square, he has won this election. The thing for us then, what we're still talking about, is how do we guard these votes? How do we leverage technology? First manual and then technology to guard the votes. That's really the work for us. Obuluma, he has done the work. He has made sure that there is development across all 21 local governments. He has made sure that across different sectors, education, health, across board, there is visible impact. And so we were in that decision room because of the amount of calls that we were making, and we saw that he was winning. In fact,
what were people even asking them? I'm curious to know.
So about 5-6 questions. Where do you reside? Do you reside in Anambra? First of all, of course, they will call, introduce themselves. Yeah. I can even show you the pictures of them now working. They're working just down.
Wow.
Introduce themselves.
They're still working.
They're still working for the post-election.
Okay.
Because, yes, Mr. Governor has won. But why? So we know why he won. But can we even hear from people why he won? That's why it's called data. Data is the new gold. Everything you see,
you can't do anything without data.
You can't do that.
True.
AI is what it is because of data.
True.
So data is, so we need that data, to even just help Mr. Governor on his next strategy. He has it. Whatever he does with it is fine, but at least he has it. So we need to know, why did you even vote if you voted?
Yeah.
And if you didn't vote, why didn't you vote? So that gives us some insight to begin to even solve the data apathy issue.
Yeah.
He had a strategy that was controversial, which he stopped talking about, which is the incentive one.
Yeah.
He started talking about that, but that was a strategy. That was an incentive, but a lot of complaints. So I'm sure he just supported on that. But the point is that because he has that data and knows that there's voter apathy is a problem, he tried to solve it with that particular offer that costs uproar.
Yeah.
But the point is that if we also get this as insights, we can also then look out for other, should I say, less controversial ways to solve the problem, right? But the point is that there's voter apathy in the Southeast. This election by Mr. Governor has proven that it can be solved.
You were filling me in on some of the questions.
Oh, yeah, questions.
That helped you guys gather
Thank you for
the
bringing
data.
me back. Okay, so we'll ask you about 5-6 questions, right? One is, did you reside in Anambra? Yes or no? If you reside in Anambra, did you vote in the last election? Because we want to know your history. Okay, you voted in the last election. Will you vote in this election? Yes or no? You voted. If you vote in this election, who would you likely vote for? The team was calling using some research institute, so it wasn't government. So who would you vote for? List in fact, most cases we were even asking the party names, not even the candidates.
Yeah.
So who would you vote for? So they'll give us. They'll say the party. They'll not say, okay, you've been in Anambra for the past few years. What do you think about the government and the governance? They'll say, so okay, what is your biggest issue? And the biggest issue that we found in this independent polling lies with the biggest issues that Mr. Governor saw on the streets of Anambra when he was campaigning for 2021 election, where Ndi Anambra wanted roads.
Yeah.
And he came out top roads. A few places wanted other issues, but mostly across board it was roads. So technology, when you use it well, you get data, you interpret data, you extract insight, and you solve problems. That's what happened with this election. So it wasn't fluke. These numbers were there because of the system that we have. We could even show anyone who wants to see. It's just a dashboard. You will come, you will see. It's not film trick. It's this dashboard. You will come, you will see everything, the insight, how the results were coming in, where it was coming in from, local government with the highest turnout, PU with the highest turnout. We have every single data that you can imagine about this election.
So the 70-something% is true.
Confirmed. 73% confirmed.
73% confirmed. Yeah. Wow. Which is higher than previous years.
Why are you laughing like that?
He's the highest that
Why are you laughing?
in this state of Anambra.
It's
the highest.
True.
The turnout is record-breaking turnout. Record-breking turnout. In fact, we had predicted that Agbata was going to, our prediction fell short, but we had predicted about Agbata was about 37,000.
And it was about 35,000.
Yeah. So it was we were excited, and Mr. Governor also asked for the ranking vis-a-vis the predictions and the actual, and it wasn't bad. It was, I mean, there were some off points. Oka South, Oka South was off.
Okay.
Not off, but it was a bit off because what we had predicted was about 43,000 for Apga.
Wow.
Right? But what Apga got from Oka South was 20 something, 27,000.
So like almost half of what you
Yeah,
had
almost
predicted.
half. But if you then add the other political parties, it comes up to that. So it was, but it's okay. I mean, that's why it's
That's
a
why
piece of work.
it's an
Yeah,
election.
it's an election, and
You win some, you lose some.
yeah.
So what specific platforms did the ICT agency use to deploy some of these things, the monitoring, the logistics management, and crisis preemption?
Oh no, so it's a custom solution. I mean, for this sort of thing, it has to be custom. So it was built customly, and the whole idea is, I think for me as a person, one of the problems I like to solve is I like to solve perennial issues, right?
Okay.
If there's an issue of data, let's solve it. Let's democratize data. Let's make it
Of course,
available.
you're in the solution government.
Exactly.
Provide solutions.
I mean, let's solve it, right? So what we have is something that will be of benefit for a long run, not just for elections. Not just for elections.
Wow.
Not just for elections. It's
So it's not a one-off thing.
no, it's not a one-off thing. It's not for election. When it's time for election, it will help, but it also help for things around projects. It will help for like core data. And the good thing is that Mr. Governor is a data guy, right?
Sure,
He loves
sure.
data. First class econometrics, first class mathematics.
That's just his life.
He also was gisting us that he was coding.
Oh,
back
now
in
they
the days.
just for there.
He was gisting us. Yeah. Oga is a different kind of a guy. When it's time to gist.
You say he codes too.
Yeah, he was coding. Yeah, he was coding Fortran and all the other early languages.
Not a small thing, though.
Fortran, Lotus 1, 2, 3. But I'm not sure you guys met that one, Sha. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I'm not sure you met it. It's an old language.
Yeah.
And so before Excel and Word was
Power
Lotus,
BI,
Lotus 1, 2, 3. Power BI is even modern. Lotus 1, 3. These are early. So governor was
Ancient of
sharing with
days.
us. Ancient of days. He was sharing with us how he used to code, large
Wow.
econometric models, and turn them into things that made sense for the computing system. So he understands this. He understands this, and he does at CBN. He also led a lot of digitization. So I would say that Anambra is lucky. Lucky.
a
We
safe house.
have a leader that really understands technology and wants to see it work. Wants to see it being used across board.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Wow. So beyond the elections,
Yeah.
how is the digital vision for Anambra coming to fruition? It's
Oh.
3 years plus.
Oh, massively.
And we're moving into the next phase.
The thing about technology is that sometimes, because you can't hold it, you feel it's not there.
It's abstract.
Oh no, but it is there. I remember when Mr. Governor called us in for the transition committee. It was a struggle to hold Zoom meetings. It was a struggle. Zoom meetings was a pain.
Zoom meeting.
Yes,
Why?
pain. This
For
thing that we now.
2021.
Oh, it was a pain
Internet.
because we didn't have capacity. We didn't have the telcos wanted us to. Well, the federal government recommends that states waive the right of way, and of course, when you waive right of way, you lose revenue, right? So you have to be a visionary to see that you lose revenue immediately, but you empower your citizens with bandwidth. That is no longer a luxury, but a right. When you empower your people, they can go online and do stuff.
Yeah.
Those stuff that they do, including capacity building, businesses, work at home, and different, even education, studying across the world. It helps your citizens, which means that they now grow their capacity to earn, and they can now pay taxes. So it takes a visionary to see that. And Mr. Governor saw that. So one of the first things was to simply waive the right of way. That now gave room to the laying of fiber ducts, close to 2,000 kilometers laid now across various parts of
And is it
Oka,
still
Onitsha,
expanding?
and it's expanding. And that's why today people now have fiber to home. I live here in Oka and I have fiber. Fiber, the same quality of fiber. I stream HD 4K Netflix. That's even the type I like to watch. 4K. In Oka here.
Netflix and
In
shit.
Oka here,
In your eye.
in Oka here, right? So it just shows you. So you can see that's and to grow any economy digitally.
Yeah.
If you don't have the infrastructure, foul.
All right, my people. Well, here we gradually comes to the end of today's podcast. It's been an amazing time with you here, and we hope to see you some other time.
I have enjoyed myself thoroughly.
Don't be to enjoy yourself. We'll give us CFATs.
We're together. We're together.
Thank you so very much for coming on the show.
Thank you.
Well, my name is Uche Chukwu Ebonam. You heard it. And if you are yet to key into the life of technology in Anambra State, you'll be left behind. I'm sorry to tell you that. You'll be seriously left behind. And we'll have the SID headquarters coming up. And
the permanent site.
A whole lot of things happening in Anambra State. So Anambra is like, what am I saying? It's like Anambra is now a destination point.
Destination hub.
There is no departure again. We are here.
To depart to where?
Yeah. And he was telling us something about coming all the way from Lagos. You were in Lagos for a very long time, and now you're in Anambra State. So you see, what is your doors down? Anambra is here for you, actually. Thank you so very much. Remember to like, subscribe, share, and comment right there so that next time you'll be notified of any content that comes your way.
Sure. Okay, and Amamaka Ezidebego, once again, do not forget to follow us across all, what did I say? All. Don't just go to Instagram and run away. Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube, across all social media platforms, so that you can always get the juicy details.
True. Like this one when they juicy now. I was connect now, we'll connect to free Wi-Fi. Bye.
Voices of the Anambra, our pride, our voice.